Okay, we are recording, so no need to introduce yourself. And if you stumble or edit or or swear or need to back up or whatever, I can edit it all out. So don't worry about it. So let's just talk. What's going on?
Not much, not much. I've been trying to adapt into this situation that we're all in right now. So I'm kind of, you know, swimming through the waters and just kind of seeing how other people are doing it and how I'm doing it and kind of mishmashing it into something that works for me.
So you're really new in the industry, right? Like, how long have you been licensed now?
So I've been licensed 4 months, and I know surprisingly, I did my first deal just a couple days ago. And
Congrats,
then
that's awesome.
yeah, so you know, while in the midst of this COVID-19, I got lucky. I had a buyer, and I kind of just kept on them, and I was like, hey, was there any properties that you were thinking about before? And you know, was there maybe a number that you'd be safe with now? And he says, yeah, let's do this. And it was actually 33% less than they were asking. So I did get him the price he wanted. He's happy, I'm happy, and the seller is happy. So, you know, I've just kind of been keeping up with everybody. And, you know, I don't have many people that I know, but you know, when I was doing open houses, I was taking sign-in sheets, and I got everyone's email. So I've been kind of sending out emails and, you know, just trying to keep myself out there, right?
That's
So yeah.
well done. So most people don't have their first deal in the bag within their first 4 months of being a registrant. So that's absolutely fantastic. You should be very proud of yourself, especially, a couple of months after, starting on your new career, having this hit us, where you're thrown for an entire loop that is well outside of what you had initially planned for your first year in real estate. But what you've done is make sure that you're not being held back and down, and that you're not stopping the audience contact that you had intended on doing in an effort to try and help people make their moves even during this time. And that's exactly the way that I think that realtors should be working now, is not retreating and becoming a secret agent and just sort of burying their head in the sand and waiting for us to be allowed to open our doors again, right? So
Yeah.
have you adapted a lot of virtual ways of working that are really becoming helpful for you in this time?
Yeah. So basically kind of what I've tried to do best I can was I tried to keep a routine. So get up at 6 a.m., go on Instagram, Twitter, check my feed, check the news, get up, put jeans on, because you know what, a lot of us are not putting jeans on. We're wearing our sweatpants, walking around, and it's just kind of easy to kind of do our thing. So basically, some of the virtual things I've been doing is, of course, Zoom. I've familiarized myself with this, and Instagram Live, and all kind of those platforms. And you know, I kind of tried to do something different. And you know, I'm not a rocket scientist or anything like that, so but I've tried to implement what, you know, I'm seeing out there right now, and people are doing giveaways, and people are promoting, you know, their businesses in sort of different ways. So I kind of started out by doing a giveaway, but a sort of giveaway that's a little bit different than everyone else was doing. I did a giveaway that was thanking our first responders and our essential workers. So basically, I'm giving away $200, and basically how you enter is you comment the person that's an essential worker or a first responder in the comments, like and follow me, and then share the post. And you know what, people love that, because you know, you're noticing, and you're giving recognition to the people that are out there and are still working. And you know what, it costs me, it's $200. They get $100 if they win, and the first responder or essential worker gets $100 as well. And then that's kind of something I did with that. And then so that kind of blew up, and you know, I have a few new followers. And, you know, that's probably something I'm going to continue doing month over month. And, you know, a lot of things that I've been kind of doing in this time is I've been really honing down on the webinars, Royal LePage webinars, other people's webinars, a lot of top realtors. And, you know, there's a ton of information that's given to us, and it's kind of just all put towards us. So I'm just trying to take one thing from each webinar and I'm trying to implement it. And, you know, one thing that I did learn from the Royal LePage webinar was when I think it was Andrew was on, and he was talking about small businesses, and, you know, it's going to be hard for them to keep up. So what I did was I took his idea and I put my little branding, and I used small businesses that are still open and running, and I basically promoted them on my Instagram story and Facebook story, and I tagged them in it. And, you know, I've gotten an overwhelming response where, you know, some people are commenting on it. Yeah, great job. Other people are reposting it. Of course, the small businesses are reposting it. And, you know, that's kind of keeping me out there. But at the same time, I'm putting somebody else in the spotlight. And, you know, it's kind of me scratching someone else's back and they're scratching mine. So, you know, that's those are the two main virtual things that I've been doing. Another thing that I've been doing is I've been contacting mortgage brokers, because I know a lot of people are contacting mortgage brokers because of the deferral, and a lot of people are kind of curious what's going on with the interest rates and stuff. So I'm messaging mortgage brokers and saying, hey, you know, I'm Anthony Trinetti. I'm a new realtor. And, you know, if you know anybody that's looking to buy or sell, I have a referral program that I can work with you with. And that's those are the three main things that I'm doing right now. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it for right now. Now I'm always trying to do something. I'm always trying to take something away from something and kind of spin it and make it my own. And, you know, so I kind of do have a few other things that I've been doing just in the meantime.
Tell me.
And like, I've really tried to learn how Facebook and Instagram ads work. And that's kind of where I'm trying to really hone my business on, and understanding how to even run a Facebook or Instagram. Because, you know, I honestly, I didn't really know anything before this COVID-19. So, you know, this has really been a learning experience for me, where I can kind of calm down on trying to get those leads, because there isn't that many right now, and just try to build my back end the best I can and do it that way. So,
what a great way to work on increasing your loyal followers and your potential clients. And while we all, I think, acknowledge that there aren't a lot of people who are in need of buying and selling right now, this whole situation is so volatile that could change for somebody tomorrow, with potential job loss or transfers or other shifts in lifestyles that require them to make a move very quickly. And, you know, and how does that happen, you know, now in these times? And when so many of your competition have decided that they're going to lay low until this storm passes, and not do a lot of marketing, and not do a lot of, you know, client reach out and an expansion of their databases. And look at you're doing it, and not in a way that you want to say, hey, if you need to buy or sell, call me, because nobody wants a sales pitch right now. And that can be perceived as being really tone deaf by a lot of people who are sensitive about what's happening. But you are offering to help. You're out there all the time. You're engaging. You're supporting local businesses, which people love, and acknowledging the value of our first responders and essential workers right now. And I can't imagine why anybody wouldn't be doing that, or how this isn't going to, you know, potentially triple your trajectory in your first year of business.
Yeah. And you know what, like, the thing is, like, I do have maybe a little tiny database, and what I kind of did was I did call them, and I did not mention the word real estate.
No.
Not one word about real estate. I just asked them, how are you doing? I'll be honest, I'm sitting on the couch and you popped in my head and I thought I'd give you a call and see how you're doing. And, you know, some people will be like, oh, hey, Anthony, we're really not going to sell our house now. And I'll just quickly say, hey, I don't want to even talk about real estate. I just want to see how you're doing. Yeah. So, you know, and that's kind of, I have my spreadsheet and I have who I contacted, what day did they respond. And you know what, I will get people that just won't respond, and that's fine too. And, you know, that's kind of one of our things about our business, that we have to have a little bit of a tough skin, and that's fine. And, you know, some of the other things that I've kind of been, you know, kind of wrestling with is, you know, I do have ideas, and some of them are bad ideas and some of them are good ideas. And, you know, I'll bounce them off some of the other realtors and say, hey, you know, would this work? What do you think of doing? What if I did this? And, you know, one thing I was going to do was I was going to put a table out near one of our seawalls and have my little face on it and have like free masks, and they're hard to come by. And one of my friend realtors said, Anthony, do not do that, because, you know, people might get mad that you're giving out masks when they should be going to first responders. I said, yeah, you're right. So I kind of changed that business model, and I'm in contact with some of the distilleries that are making hand sanitizer. Instead, I'm going to do free hand sanitizer.
Yes.
And, you know, that's something I have in the pipeline right now. Another thing that I've kind of thought about doing is, well, it's going to come out next week, but because I'm a little bit younger and I kind of know how to navigate through Instagram and Facebook, I'm going to offer other RIP.
It's okay, I can edit that
out. I'm going to offer other LePage agents that are in our network to do their visual open tours, and kind of like how we had host agents when in a normal period. I have a camera, I have a gimbal, I have a mic system, and, you know, I'm going to offer to do host visual tours, where I kind of go into your listing and I'll kind of shoot whatever. And, you know, some of the older agents or agents that are not really familiar with some of the technology love it, because they feel like they're backed in a corner right now and they don't want to put themselves in jeopardy. And I totally understand that. And they maybe don't know how to do it or know how to do it. And that's kind of another thing that I'm trying to put in as a layer as well in my business plan.
I absolutely love that. And it's blowing my mind a little bit, because as I think it's been 3 weeks now that we've really been, you know, anti public open house. And obviously it's been 5 weeks since we've all been, you know, encouraged to #stay home. There's been a lot of experiences that have come out of people as they've moved into a virtual touring and a virtual open house environment. And, you know, many provinces, including both of ours, have allowed now for virtual streaming links to be added to the MLS and added to realtor.ca, of course, is allowed. But you're right, there's still a lot of people out there that are like, oh my God, I don't know how to do this. And they can't seem to get outside of their heads enough to be able to adapt to this technology. And we've been so busy encouraging these people just to do it that we have entirely ignored the opportunity of them not having to step that far outside of their comfort zone if they don't want to, and instead rely on other people in their brokerage like yourself that will gladly do it for them and potentially do a better job than they ever feel like they might be able to accomplish. And that's blowing my mind, because I never thought of that before. So I've learned something like fascinating today, that there are people out there that would love to do virtual live streaming open houses on your listing if you don't want to do it. That's phenomenal. Well done. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, you know what, I thought it was a kind of a good way, because a lot of our top realtors maybe don't have a social media page or don't have, you know, Facebook or Instagram. And I thought, you know what, let me do something that, one, would help them, 2, keep their customers happy, and 3, kind of promote myself as well. And that's kind of my kind of business model through this whole thing is, how can I help other people? Because I know in the end, it will trickle down to me eventually. But if I kind of put other people first, it'll benefit me later. And that's kind of my whole attitude right now.
Yes.
So
I love that. I think that's awesome. So you're growing your follower base on Facebook and Instagram. You are promoting local businesses. You are holding contests that acknowledge essential workers and providing a way of benefiting those people that are putting essentially their lives on the line during this time. You are getting known to many of the top producers in your brokerage, which is going to shine down very pleasantly on you over the course of your career. And you are finding opportunities to market properties when you may not have an abundance of listings of your own right now as well. Like I'm mind blown at how perfectly you're creating your career in this entirely confusing state that we never could have predicted or let alone prepared to be in. You must feel really excited and really happy with how you're developing your business right now.
you know what, I do. And I kind of want to say this, like, I've had a lot of bad ideas, and I've gone and I've kind of, this first kind of 2-3 weeks, I kind of just sat back and I watched what everyone else was doing. And I really looked at the top producing agents, not just at LePage, but at other brokerages and what they were doing. And, I get antsy when I'm not doing stuff. And I couldn't just sit there and watch Love is Blind for 6 hours. So I had to do something, and I had to get out, and I was reading online books. I was trying to just do something, and I thought, you know what, let me get out there and let me try something. And I really tried to keep the costs down. Like the total giveaway was $200. It cost me $100 to market it, and I've gotten, I think, over 150 shares on different people. And the small businesses, that cost me nothing.
Mhm.
And that's kind of great recognition. I can save it onto my thing. And this time right now, there's probably not going to be much happening, but in the summertime, there are going to be people that are selling their houses. They're going to be sitting in the home and saying, hey, okay, maybe this is going to be more of a virtual kind of living environment with this COVID-19. If it lasts over 2 years, maybe I kind of want a bigger house or a smaller house or a house that I have an office. So there are going to be people selling, there are going to be people buying. And if you're staying, just kind of not doing anything right now, when that kind of surge comes back on, you're not going to be ready to take on it.
And
So that,
remember you, like, none of your clients are going to think of you. They're going to think of the guy that was out there recognizing the first responders and out there, giving away hand sanitizer and out there promoting the local businesses to make sure that you're doing your part to keep, the mom and pop shops open. And you're the one that'll be remembered, not the ones that are sitting down going, well, I'm not working right now, so I'm just not going to talk to anybody. Or who fall down that downward spiral of Love is Blind, because we've all been there in some capacity. If it wasn't that, it was Tiger King, right?
yeah. So like,
You're right.
yeah. And like, another thing is, like, when I'm on Instagram and I'll do it, like, I know I'm being annoying, and you'll be on your Instagram or Facebook and just be like, oh, this guy is posting again. He's posting again. But the thing is, you're always tuning in just to kind of complain about him. And then your name sticks out in their head. And then when it comes time, you're like, oh, well, I know he's annoying, but you know what? Let me give Anthony a call, because you know what? He was out there. He is marketing. I want my house marketed like he's marketing this house. And that's kind of I'm just trying to keep in front of everybody best I can. And you know what? I'm trying to do it cost effectively, and it is being cost effective. So yeah,
That's marketing 101, is making sure that you're always in front of people. They may not need you now, but when it comes time for them to need you, you're the first name that's going to pop into your mind. And it's old school marketing and it's present day marketing, and it'll be marketing again for the next decade or 20 or 100 years to come. So as long as you've got that down pat, that you need to make sure that your name is memorable. And going back to you saying a couple of times that you've had a lot of bad ideas, the only thing I can say to you, Anthony, is that you never have a good idea without having bad ideas, because you don't know what a good idea is without having bad ideas. But again, something that I think that you've done correctly is to make sure that you're bouncing those ideas off of other people. Because when it came into your head, it was like, oh, that's genius. I'm going to be out there giving away masks. And you run it by a couple of people and you're like, oh yeah, I can see how that can be misperceived. And again, there are so many people out there with heightened sensitivities to the intonations that marketers use, because everybody is looking for a cash grab and a handout right now. And realtors are always a target for that kind of stuff. So taking those ideas and bouncing them off your colleagues and your manager and the people that you admire in sales industries in any capacity will quickly tell you which are your good ideas, so that you can move beyond the bad ideas without focusing on them too much. And that idea of giving away masks then turned into something that you are going to do, which is actually a good idea. So without ever having that, you never would have had the end result. So, you're never going to get anywhere unless you start throwing the spaghetti against the wall, right? And I commend you for that, because that's something that a lot of people are fearful of doing right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, then that's kind of where I'm at. And, I guess another kind of idea that probably most realtors can do, because they have that network, and I would love to do, but I'm just not there, is make market updates about what's going on, and not making any claims. Because when I hear a claim, oh, well, it's 2-3 months, that's going to be back up again. To be honest with you, nobody knows what's going to happen.
Yep.
And I really think people, the general public, is going to really be okay with saying, hey, I don't know what's going to happen, because this has never happened before. But let me tell you what's going on, so when that peak does happen, or if it happens, you're ready to put your house on the market or be ready to buy in case that happens. And that's kind of where I'm trying to build up that client base and get it to that point where I can say, hey guys, this is what's happening. Sales were up 10% and this and that. And, that's where other realtors that do have that clientele on whatever can really get to that point. So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And that takes, making sure that when you're logging in every morning and checking your Twitter and your Instagram and your Facebook feeds and reading the news, that you're also taking a look at MLS, right? And I think a lot of realtors aren't doing that either, because we rely on our local boards to give us our monthly stats every month that just sort of paint a broad brush of, market activity is down by 80%. And then we run with that and say, oh, well, market activity is down 80%. But what the realtors aren't doing is doing that daily research, because we're finding here in the Greater Toronto Area market that properties are still selling a multiple offer for significantly higher than what the asking prices were. And showings, of course, are happening virtually and or safely if they're happening in public. And a lot of people don't have a handle on that. So by the time they've read that, they've already sent out to their audience that activity is down 80%. Their audience is reading that going, oh, activity is down 80%. And then a couple of hours later, they read a news article that reminds them that houses are selling in multiple offer. And they're thinking, well, what is that realtor saying? Market has died, but the news is saying otherwise. That realtor obviously doesn't have a good handle on what's happening on the market. And you're right, none of us do, because things could switch again tomorrow without us being prepared for that. But spending some time every morning while you're checking your feeds, also taking a look at MLS and seeing what's happening in your immediate area. You're right, we don't know what's going to happen next week, but we can get a pretty good idea of what's happening today. And that's important if somebody does find that their situation has changed and they need to unload quickly, right?
Yeah, and that's kind of what happened with me. Like, I know today's Thursday, and on Saturday, my guy, yeah. Well, on Saturday, we put in an offer and no subjects, and we closed on Monday. So yeah, so that's where I'm at, where there are still people that think this is a great time to buy, and it very well can be, or could be, or is. Just I don't really know right now because of what's going on. But that's kind of, it worked out for me, right? So there are still people out there, and I highly, highly suggest not to just huddle on your couch and watch Love is Blind, and get out there and just kind of keep yourself out in the eye. So yeah.
I totally agree. I absolutely agree. Anthony, I'm totally impressed with everything that you had to offer me in the last half hour. You've opened my eyes to a couple of things I'd never thought of before. And if and when I use any of those pieces, I'll do it after you started doing it, because you did say that. I'll hold off on that for a little while. And if I do share that with your permission, I'll make sure that you get full credit for that idea, because that is a phenomenal idea and I love it. And I'm really happy that you're offering that to realtors in your office.
Yeah, no, of course. And you know what? That's for everybody. Even if you're in our office, and I'm in North Vancouver, West Vancouver. So even if any realtors from there see this, let's just get out there. Let's help each other. And that's all I can really say.
That's awesome. I really love that, Anthony. Thanks a lot. Do you have anything else that you wanted to throw in today?
No, you know what? Really take advantage of what Royal LePage has to offer. Because you know what? There's a ton of stuff, and there's a ton of webinars, and there's even past webinars. And you know what? There's so much information, and we're such a good brokerage that we're like a family, and we have our Facebook group in North Van and West Van, and we're always communicating in there. And you know what, your managing broker, ours in North Van, Lawrence, he's just like the best, and I'm bouncing ideas off him all the time. We're talking all the time, and you know what, we're such a good brokerage, and we have so many resources and stuff. Use them, because they're all at our fingertips right now, and this is the time where you can really learn from what's out there and take little ideas, take little snippets. Like before this all happened, my little marketing thing was goldfishes, and like, I'm fishing for your referrals, and that was something I was going to do before this all happened. And you know, I haven't been able to hand them out because of COVID, but you know, these were the ideas that, you know, I was talking to my managing broker, and other things like that I was going to do before. And you know, once this all passes, yeah, I can give out my goldfishies and I'll be fishing for your referrals. But you know, just kind of get your game plan on what needs to happen in the next 6 months and 4 months. And yeah, it's going to change, and it might not be 100%, and just get out there. What's the worst that's going to happen?
Nothing. And you know, a statement that I heard a couple of years ago that has always rung true for me almost every single time is, I have never seen somebody truly try as a real estate agent and fail, because the two do not go hand in hand. And as long as you are prepared to get out there and get outside of your comfort zone and do things like, you know, kitschy goldfish drop-bys, which I absolutely love, and then follow through with that, prepare it in advance, and then follow through with that continued follow-up, I've never seen anybody fail. And clearly you are destined for greatness in this industry, and I foresee significant success for you soon moving forward in this industry. So Anthony, well done.
Awesome.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for this. Before I share anything, I'll send it off to you so that you can approve everything that we've used. And if you have anything else that you want to add, or anything else that you think that I should know as a professional development manager of the brokerage, send it over my way. My door is always open, virtually and physically. And congratulations. You should be very proud. You're mind-blowing. It's awesome. I love it. You're the reason why I got into helping realtors as a business. So well done. Keep it up.
Awesome. Thank you, Sandra. I really appreciate it.
Take care. We'll see you soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.